Motherfuckers, we are live and the gang is all back. It's been a couple weeks, but Russell and Mize are back. Break down Thanksgiving, a special week in the NFL. Thanksgiving week, we had games Thursday, Friday, yesterday, and we got a game tonight. So we got a lot to fucking get to, so let's get into it. Jake Beck is joining us later, talk about the Bills. Win over the Niners last night on Sunday Night Football. How about that? And the fucking snow. We get a beat down in Buffalo. Jake Beck will join us later to talk about that. Monday night game, you got Cleveland Browns and Denver Broncos. Cleveland kind of resurging a little bit with Jameis Winston. Denver trying to improve on their playoff chances. But let's get into the Thursday night games or the Thursday Thanksgiving games. Let's start with the first game of the day. It was the Bears and Lions, the Detroit Lions Thanksgiving Classic. Always one of the best traditions in sports in my mind. People a couple years ago when they were really shitty, they're like, we got to get rid of Detroit on Thanksgiving. Well, thank fuck we didn't. Because they're back, and the game means a little bit more. Lions shredded into this game with a 10-1 record. I think they'd won like 9 in a row, 10 in a row now. And the Bears are limp. They came in that game limp at 4-7. They've lost 5 in a row. Note, it was the 20th all-time matchup on Thanksgiving between these two. And Chicago actually holds the edge on them. Going into the game, they held the edge on them 11-8. Now it's 11-9. But as shitty as the fucking Bears have been, that's one thing they got going for them is they own the Thanksgiving record all time against Detroit. Goff was slinging it all day. I mean, I kind of knew how this was going to go. I was thinking about it. I'm like, this is Caleb Williams' first Thanksgiving game in Detroit. He's going to piss his pants, and he's at least going to come out slow. And that's exactly what happened. They were awful to start that game. They didn't even have a first down, I think, almost damn near at halftime, maybe all the way through halftime. They still hadn't even got a first down. But then they came back a little bit in the second half. They showed a little bit of fight, which I liked. But all in all, it's another win for the Lions. Despite getting a little scary at the end, I think they pretty much dominated the Bears. And, yeah, can't say much else about the Lions. Look pretty good.
I'm assuming you watched this game, the last play by the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah.
dipshit Eberflus not calling a timeout. My dad was trying to explain to me why he didn't call a timeout. I'm like, no, Dave, no. He should have called the timeout immediately when he's got a rookie quarterback, 30 seconds on the clock, and they somehow get one playoff. He was fired the next day, even though they let him come out into a presser talking about next week and everything. Just a faulty shit on the Bears owners, the McCaskies or whatever their names are. But I'm not gonna lie to you, as a Packers fan, I'm a little. I think Actually, never mind. I don't think that. I'm sorry. I was about to say something very rash about the Bears, but I don't. I'm not scared of the Bears whatsoever.
What were you thinking about?
I was thinking about that. He could be really good. I think after his first year, I think his future is bright, but he's in that dog shit of an organization in Chicago. So I think the Bears are going to ruin him, actually, long term.
He's shown glimpses. He's shown the positives and he's shown the negatives. I think you shouldn't give up on him. I think there's definitely a lot of optimism around him. But his main problem is his owner is an old woman. She's 95 years old. She can't be running the fucking NFL team. This isn't 1975 anymore, Grandma. There's too much going on for you. You got to fucking evolve. Get some new blood in there. They fucking make Jerry Jones. She makes Jerry Jones look like a fucking spry young man.
If they get Mike Vrabel or Ben Johnson, I'll be scared. But they're going to fuck up that hiring too, probably. So
Mike Vrabel's a dumbass. I ain't worried about him. He got fired as the coach of the Titans. So.
Wrongfully fired.
But yeah, that was the big storyline out of that game. Pretty much surpassed everything that happened in the game was Matt Eberflus's incompetence. I think you can make an argument that they could have ran a no-huddle play, but he should have done one thing. He should have called timeout right away, like you said, or he should have called timeout when he saw that Caleb Williams was taking too much time. He should have called timeout then. He should have called timeout either right away or when he saw that shit was starting to unravel. He didn't do either. He just sat there and watched it all happen. I mean, I don't think the dude has much up there between the ears. He's an idiot. He's an airhead. And I've never seen a coach like refuse to do anything. He deserved to be fired that night, in my opinion. But
He's
then like, yeah,
terrible.
he's terrible. We've known that for a while too. We've known
It,
this.
if for those who are saying, "Oh yeah, hindsight 2020," shut up. He could have done one of two things. You're right. He could have called timeout right then and there. They could have got a no huddle playoff if they would have hurried their asses and had a play to
Right.
call, like have us have
Yeah.
2 plays lined up, and you still have 10 seconds, kick a field goal to win the game. And he did the one thing you couldn't do, and that's just watch the clock hit triple zeros and be like, "Whoops, sorry." Like if you've ever played an ounce or an hour of NCAA football or Madden, you know what to do there in clock management. And this guy's getting paid millions to do it for the Chicago Bears. And he can't figure it out. I was hoping they'd keep him for the next 10 years, but that's not the case, obviously.
No, obviously not now. That was it was one of the biggest coaching blunders I've seen in a while. I'm trying to remember. I think Nathaniel Hackett had a bad blunder a couple years ago when he was a head coach out in Denver. But it's funny, like that. Nothing will like kill your chances of coaching next week, like just a obvious idiotic blunder like that. There's just no way we can keep you, dude. Like, I mean, if you would have not done that, he probably still would have had a job this week. But he did. He just did the unthinkable, and it lost him his job. So it was hilarious, though. It was classic Bears. I love to see it, honestly. Let's move on to the second game of the day. Dallas and New York Giants. Dallas came in limping with some playoff hopes. The Giants have been a disaster from start to finish. Now, obviously, Danny Dimes is a Minnesota Viking. And then Tommy DeVito starts 2 weeks ago now, but is not healthy for this game. So they got to go with Drew Lock. And the first half was a comedy of errors for the Giants. They started off with a big, heavy run dosage. They tried to punch the Cowboys in the mouth, but they had a bunch of penalties right away. There was a deflected pass that was returned for a pick. And then they showed a little bit of life in the second half. Kind of the same thing that the Bears did. They kind of made like a little fake comeback at the end and made things interesting. Drew Lock got it going a little bit in the second half. It was 23-7, I think. And then next thing before you know it, it's 23-20 late in the fourth quarter. But all in all, the Cowboys stood tall. They keep their slim playoff chances alive. I think the Overshown's pick six was the play of the game. I think there was a fumble at the end there too that they picked up, but they got a little bit of hope left. 5-7, not completely out of it. The Giants, obviously, we've known they've been done for a while. They're 2-10. They're at the bottom of the NFC East. They might be looking at a first pick in the draft, and then they also fucking lost Dexter Lawrence to add insult to injury. But yeah, not much to say about the Giants. Cowboys still hanging on to some playoff hopes.
Good. Keep them hanging on. We're getting to the point in the season where there's a true must-win game for them next week and the other team. We got Bengals Cowboys on Monday night. Bengals lose, they're almost mathematically out, and the Cowboys losing in the NFC would be detrimental. But good. I'm glad the Cowboys got their W on Thanksgiving. I actually am. I really hope they beat the Bengals. I hope they beat the Panthers, and I hope they get back to where they think they're good. I'm afraid it's impossible with Cooper Rush, though.
Yeah, and also I've got to be thinking, if Cooper Rush looks like this, how bad is Trey Lance, dude? He must be really bad. And think about it. The Niners drafted him in the first round, I think, first or second round. And all he had done was played like 12 games in COVID year. And he just balled out on like these 12 games of tape. And I get, fuck it, we're taking this guy. And he's turned out to be they didn't even play him. They can't even play him. They played Cooper Rush, who's fucking 27 years old, looks like he's overweight and bearded, red-haired. He looks like Brandon Weeden out there.
He is Brandon Weeden. He's his cousin. You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, it is. But something that makes me think something's going on with him in the background that we don't see. Either he's got a shitty attitude or I don't know how he hasn't gotten a shot.
He's bad. He's got to
Like,
be so bad. I don't think maybe he has that bad of an attitude. I don't know what his attitude's like.
I
I
don't
can't
either.
speculate one. I just think he's really bad. I think he's awful.
And he could be, but is he? Is it? I don't know. If I'm the Mike McCarthy, I maybe take a chance and play Trey Lance, but maybe he's that bad. Maybe you're right. Maybe he's total ass, and I just don't see it.
He's got to be. He's got to be. I think they're desperate. They wouldn't play Cooper Rush if they thought there was someone better than him sitting on the pine. So let's go into this Thursday night game. I'll let you take the lead on this one since your team played in it, and it was a good win for your team.
Yeah, another great Thanksgiving game. We're hot, Sheets. Don't look now, but the Packers have won 3 in a row. We got to go into Detroit next week, but yeah, we pretty much dismantled the Dolphins. They didn't have a chance. We looked good as always recently. I've been on record early in the year that I've missed a couple weeks, that I was not a fan of the Josh Jacobs signing. I love that guy. I absolutely love that guy. I will take hand up. I was wrong. I fucking love Josh Jacobs, and I think he's going to get us a couple playoff wins this year. What's your ceiling for the Green Bay Packers? Mine's obviously the Super Bowl. I want to know your true ceiling.
I think you could get to the NFC Championship game, and who knows, what happens from there. But I don't see you in the Super Bowl. I see you guys maybe in the NFC Championship game.
It sucks that the NFC North is this crowded in a year where we're 8-3.
Yeah, that could also be played to your favor. You can fly on. You can have a hell of a team and fly under the radar.
Yeah, and we're gonna have to go on the road, but that's fine. We did that when we won our last Super Bowl. We were the 5 seed, so
That's true.
I would like to play at home. So I'm hoping when we play the Vikings in between New Year's and Christmas, that's a game to get home field advantage in case we match up with them. But I'll take 8-3. I'm happy.
I do see like your Packers winning the Super Bowl in the next 4 years. I would say.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah, I can see it happening.
I will give the Colts in the next next 12 years.
12? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take 12 years. It's been
You'd sign up for that right now. If I told you they're not going to win a Super Bowl, but they'll win one in 12 years, you would sign that contract immediately. Would you not?
12 years? Oh, I don't know, man. I'd be
You
the
think
end
you're
of my
going to get
30s.
multiple?
Who knows? I don't know.
Wow. I would sign that.
I don't
so quick,
know where we're at. This is the first time since Andrew Luck where we've had a young quarterback who's showing promise. The thing is, when Andrew Luck took when he was a rookie, he was a fucking Pro Bowler right away. Like he was ready for the NFL right away. There's still glimpses of AR, so I don't really know yet.
That's fair. We can get to. We just finished the Thanksgiving. Let's go right into fuck it. Let's go into the Colts game. Walk me through this Colts game because I'll tell you, I did not watch it.
This was one of the best Colts games I've seen in years. Regular season playoffs, one of the best games that I've seen, one of the most exhilarating games I've witnessed, seriously, I've seen in years. And I've had my doubts about Anthony Richardson publicly. I've called him a bust. I've called him a bum. But the kid showed guts yesterday. He showed guts and grits, and he's changed my mind about him. He's the quarterback of the future, and I think he could be the next Cam Newton on steroids. I think he could be Lamar Jackson, who was a cannon on him.
I can't tell.
This was the game. This was the game, dude. He played lights out. He played balls out yesterday and got us the fucking win. He kind of all over the place because he's still young, but what matters what you do at the end most to me. And when it mattered most, he orchestrated a 19-play, 80-yard drive where he threw the game to we were down 7. We're down 7. He threw the game. Normally would be game time touchdown. He threw the touchdown to get us. It was 4th and goal. He threw the touchdown. Now we're down 1 point. So it would have been game time if we kicked the extra point. But then we say, fuck it, we're going for 2. and then he runs it on the 2-point conversion. So he throws a touchdown pass to get us back within 1. Then he wins the motherfucker outright on a handoff. And all of it was on a 19-play, 80-yard drive. The drive fucking took up like 6 minutes. Like, we got the ball like 6 minutes left, and it's like you're thinking, hey, maybe we could try to fucking air it out here. We're like, no, fuck it. We'll do whatever it takes to get down there and score. That's all that matters. So we scored. It was fucking do or die, and we decided to fucking risk it, and it played off. We picked up the win outright. We didn't fuck around with OT. 25-24. It was a gutsy win from AR. He's changed my mind completely.
Much like I have a couple times this year, I bet on the Colts to cover, and they usually do cover. Every time I bet on them to cover, they seem to do well. And I was following along. I didn't watch the game, but I watched it. And I'm like, God damn it. They're running all over the Colts, which is what I was afraid of. AR had turnovers, also what I was afraid of. And somehow you guys still got it up. So props to the Colts to get it up. And your playoff chances are what now? What are we looking at for the Indianapolis Colts?
Well, I mean, I would say right now we're 2 games behind the Broncos, but they haven't played yet. They play tonight. We'll talk about tonight's game. Like I preluded to a little bit when I opened, Cleveland's kind of resurged a little bit with Jameis Winston. There's a possibility of an upset. We'll see. But then we actually face Denver in 2 weeks. Both of us are on bye next week, and then we play in Denver in 2 weeks. So we have a chance to get right the fuck back in it if we beat them. We could get a little extra fucking December bonus if the Browns pull off the upset tonight. We would be within 1 game.
Uh-oh, Sheets. You're live.
Hey, I just heard talk about the Colts game and Anthony Richardson being the man, blah, blah, blah. He threw for 109 yards, 2 interceptions against a 3-10 team. That's not impressive whatsoever. He sucks. He's not the man. Yeah, he's young and talented, but he stinks. Sorry, Meisner.
Wow.
Thanks for calling in, Stolkin.
Yep.
All right, see ya. He texted me on the side. He said, I got some shit to say. Can I call in? I said, you sure can. What do you have to say back to that?
I have to say, it's not about the fucking box score, motherfucker. It's about what I talked about, guts and grit. And that's what Anthony Richardson had yesterday. He didn't give a fuck about numbers. He showed heart. And that's more than half the quarterbacks in this fucking league can say. Fucking Daniel Jones, shit like that. Those fuckers don't give a fuck. Anthony Richardson, the stat line might have not been fucking jaw-dropping. Like you said, 180 yards, touchdown, 2 picks, whatever. We had 50 yards on the ground. And like I said, he orchestrated that game-winning drive, 19 yards. There were 19 plays, 80 yards. That's impressive. A drive that lasts fucking almost 20 plays, those are the stats that he's not talking about. On that drive, we converted 3 fourth downs on that drive. He didn't fold under pressure. I don't give a fuck if we're playing New England or Kansas City. He fucking got the job done. To get us back in it, the win on the 2-point conversion, you can't coach that. You can't put that in a stat column either.
I do agree. I agree with both of you. Both of you have a point. Yeah, what's the goal in this league? To put up stats or win games?
Win games.
Win
at all costs.
And he won a game. Great call in from Stolkin, though.
That was a great call. Love that. Let's go. Let's switch to. I got the Friday game still too as well. Yeah. Black Friday showdown between the Chiefs and Raiders. I didn't catch much of this game. College football had my attention at the time, and it's just a real bitch to switch from YouTube TV to fucking Prime. So I didn't get to see I didn't see much of this game. And luckily for Raiders fans, they didn't get to see it either since they can't afford Amazon Prime. So,
where's that coming from?
You know, Raiders fans, there's the stereotype they're a bunch of broke-ass bastards. So they ain't paying for fucking Amazon Prime. They're like, fuck, I ain't paying that shit.
Oh, that's okay. Good to know.
Yeah. So they didn't get to see that blunder at the end. They played. It looked like they played pretty damn close. Another Chiefs squeaker. Mahomes threw for 300 yards, but they struggled in the red zone. They kicked 4 field goals. I mean, that might cut it against the fucking Las Vegas bum Raiders, but it's not going to cut it against in the playoffs. That's why these Chiefs fans, I think, are delirious. They're, they act like, we're not worried. Look at our record. You should be worried. You see how you play each week? Just because you played Little Sisters of the Poor and can get it done doesn't mean it matters against the fucking big boys.
And look, I'm with you. I've said all year I don't think this is their year. I don't think they're going to repeat again. I am tired of watching them win like this, though. I bet on the Raiders. They covered, but the fact that they should have won that game, or at least had an opportunity to win that game, and then Aiden O'Connell fumbles the snap, which I don't even know if that – did you see the play?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the center's fault or his fault because he does not look ready for it. But the left guard tapped the center on the shoulder, as in like we're ready to go. Snaps it, and O'Connell's making fucking audibles.
Yeah,
but
I think from what I saw, that was on O'Connell. I don't know what the fuck he was doing out there.
Also, we don't need a Black Friday game. We just don't.
No.
There's college football on Friday. It's always been Thanksgiving, the 3 NFL, college football on Friday, Iowa, Nebraska. Thank God they're at different times. But we just put it on Sunday. Put it on Sunday. I don't need a Black Friday game.
No, and they do it. It's just a fucking money grab. That's their MO, especially under Roger Goodell. That's their MO. Is fucking let's make money, and let's put a game on fucking Friday. Well, no one wants to watch it. Well, it doesn't matter. We're doing it fucking anyways. They don't give a fuck about what the fans think. Roger Goodell is a worm for doing that shit. He does this shit all the time.
It was a great game, though. I'll give it to the Chiefs. I don't know what Mahomes and Andy Reid and those Chiefs fans did in their previous life to deserve all this luck, but they've got it all. It's got to run out at some point, though. It has to.
It will. And that game was great. It would have been a great 3 p.m. finish right before Sunday Night Football. That's why I wouldn't want to see that. Not on a fucking Black Friday when people are out shopping and there's college football on last week of the regular season. I don't give a fuck about watching the 2-9 Raiders with fucking Purdue, Aiden O'Connell at the helm. Put that shit on Sunday at 3 p.m. Then I'd like it.
Sheets, what do you think about the Raiders? Made me think of this take. I think this is the time of year when teams start getting real feisty, when they have nothing to play for, start playing harder, hence the Raiders in a divisional matchup. They have no business having a chance to win that game at the end against a Chiefs team that's this good, and yet they are. Someone else did. I'm trying to think of someone else. The Patriots keep doing it. Like I feel like when people get out of playoff contention, they know they're fucked, but we're this far in the season now, they just want to play spoiler. I think the bad teams start playing better. Is that crazy?
No, that does make sense. I mean, they don't have a lot to play for, so some of these teams are like, fuck it, let's just go out here and beat these fucks.
They play loose.
Especially in a rivalry game. The Raiders hate the fucking Chiefs. It doesn't matter if they're in playoff contention or not. They don't want to fucking let these fucks win.
I don't know. I might have to take a look at some of those shitty teams that are playing next week and see if I can find one that's going to keep it close because they're scrappy. Oh, here's a perfect example.
You take a look at the fucking Cleveland Browns now. Yeah.
Well, Browns at the Broncos. We'll get to that game, but that's such a weird game to me.
You want to talk Steelers-Bengals?
Yeah, we can talk about the Bengals and how they're dead, and we should probably write them off because they keep pissing me off because their defense is freaking terrible. That's about all I got to say about that game.
Yeah, I mean, the Steelers' edge went out against the Bengals, even though they were up pretty much most of that game. I took the fucking Bengals money line like a chump. They screwed me over. The Steelers probably sealed their playoff chances with this win. I'm still skeptical about them. I think they could piss their pants down the stretch. But
any team with Russell Wilson starting at quarterback is definitely capable of doing that.
Yeah, I mean, when he has a good foundation around him, he's done good things. But like when the Seahawks didn't have a great defense, things started to get a little crazy. And when he had a kind of a shaky head coach in Denver and not a lot of weapons, it was shaky. When you get a good head coach and a good foundation around him, I trust him a little bit more.
Sheets, trust me, I think he's a great quarterback, but there's just some dudes in this league that shit just happens to, quarterbacks especially. And you got your Josh McCowns, your Sam Darnolds, and he's right there up to Russell. Like, there's funny losses in a weird way happen to these kinds of guys, and he's one of those guys. He's not. They're not, to me, that can't win a Super Bowl just because of that.
You don't think they can win a Super Bowl?
No, because it's a dumb way of thinking, Sheets. But that's what I'm thinking is I don't think Russell Wilson can win another Super Bowl. So I love their defense. I love George Pickens. I don't think he's going to get it done.
Russell Wilson yesterday. I mean, I know it's against the Bengals defense, but he threw for 414 yards and 3 tutties yesterday.
Sheets, I'm telling you, he's a great quarterback. I know that he's a good quarterback. But he's just going to lose in a hilarious fashion. Jameis Winston is one of those guys too. Like, that's who he is now. He's not the old Super Bowl winning. He's playing like it, but his personality's not.
We'll see. I hear what you're saying. No, I definitely hear what you're saying. The last couple of years of Russell Wilson have made the public change their opinion about him a little bit. Yeah, he's turned into kind of a cornball and hasn't won squat in a while. So we'll see what he does. I understand your skepticism. I think there's a lot of reason to be skeptical. But you can't deny what they're doing though. 9-3 now, solidifying their lead in the North. Looks like they might win that division. With the Ravens losing, obviously, to the Eagles, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But with the Ravens losing, the Steelers now have a 1.5 game lead over the Ravens. Their playoff probability, 99%. So they could be legitimate contenders. I don't know.
I also, speaking of that division, I will get to them. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, on the other side, the Bengals, they're 4-8 now. They have a 3% chance to make the playoffs. So it's not 0, but they got to win every game.
And you know what? I wouldn't put it past them to do it.
Yeah, I know. It scares me. Joe Burr is that man. I mean, from this game, like I said, the Steelers showed some fucking firepower. And they got hit a couple of times. The Bengals, well, they always kind of like try to come back. And they just came back out there and fucking stuffed it up their ass again on offense. When they're on offense. So, yeah. We'll see if they can keep this momentum going or if they shit their pants under pressure. We'll see. And not really about a specific game, but we have to talk about kind of like the storyline of yesterday. This was Texans linebacker Azeez Al-Shaair delivering a dirty late hit on Trevor Lawrence as he was sliding, which led to a big concussion and a big brawl. Trevor Lawrence had just come back from a shoulder injury too, and this was a fucking cheap shot right to him. Puts us out at risk. They kicked his ass out of the game. Definitely deserved to. He apologized today on social media. He said it was unintentional, but I don't know. I don't think that erases the damage done. I think they need to come hard down on him. I would fine his ass into fucking next season. I'd probably suspend him too.
Listen, I'm with all that. I agree. It was definitely uncalled for. Definitely should not have happened. I am going to cut the guy a little bit of slack. Even after he acted like a fool afterwards, going out of the stadium. The apology I read today seemed genuine. And I can get how when your emotions are high in a defense and your job is to tackle the guy, I get how that something like that can happen without intent of trying to kill the guy. You know what I'm saying? Like he clearly, in my opinion, he clearly did not intend to hurt him. But it was a dumb move on his part.
I don't know. I don't think you can cut him some slack for a dirty ass hit like that.
It is dirty.
It wasn't bang bang.
People make mistakes though, Sheets, and this guy,
he went full speed at the fucking cornerstone of the Jacksonville Jaguars franchise. He was off by a fucking full second on his timing. I mean, the fucking whistle was almost blown, and he fucking took his head off. I don't think you cut him slack for trying to decapitate a guy in the field.
Now that I'm thinking
Motherfucker,
about
this
it,
isn't some
if that was
backyard brawl. You can go fucking balls out of the guy like that. Motions were running high. That is not.
if that was Jordan Love, actually, I would be livid and I would say kick him out of the
Yeah.
league. So I guess maybe I need to put myself in that position or put every quarterback in that position. But I don't know. I just think you can. It was a dirty hit. He deserves every single bit of the blame. Deserves all the fines in the world. There's a little part of me that's like, made a mistake. Made a mistake.
That's a dirty fucking cheap mistake, dude. This isn't like he fumbled the snap. He fucking flew into the quarterback's head like a fucking missile.
You're not wrong. It's hard to rebuttal my opinion here, but that's just what it is.
Well, you asked yourself the perfect question. What if it was my quarterback?
If it was Jordan
You
Love,
would
I'd be
be
driving
singing a
in
different
his place
tune
right now. Yeah.
I got no slack excuses for this motherfucker. You want to make plays like that? Go play in the arena leagues, guy.
Fair. It's fair.
Let's go. We got a couple more minutes before Beck comes on. Let's talk. I'm trying to think. Where were we? Yeah, let's go to that Ravens-Eagles game. We talked a little bit about the AFC North. AFC, the Ravens falling now a little bit in the AFC North standings and in the fucking just playoff hunt in general. I had big money riding on them. They jumped out to a big lead right away. They're up 9-rep. Mark Andrews caught a fucking snag of a pass. But then the signs of things to come started to happen. Justin Tucker, bum-ass, old man Justin Tucker, misses the extra point. He did hit a 50-yard field goal before halftime, but in the third quarter, he missed one from 47. He missed one from 53. I mean, with Saquon Barkley fucking knocking down their door, they needed him to step up, and he wet his pants when it mattered most. There's something about these old kickers, dude. The old kickers this year have been sucking dick. Justin Tucker, trying to think of some of the old other fucks that keep missing field goals every week. There's been a bunch of them. The best kicker in the league is the fucking rookie guy for the Lions.
Bates? Yeah, he's a dog. If he makes these if Justin Tucker plays anything like he has the past 14 years, Ravens win this game. The question is, if you're in Harbaugh's position, do you keep him out there for the remaining of the year?
That motherfucker said he's sticking with them. I think that's crazy. I would not.
That's interesting. Belichick came on and said in the Pat McAfee show that he would keep him, and it's just something fundamental. He's like, the talent's there, but something fundamentally is off, and he just needs to fix that. I don't know. The man was the best kicker in the league, probably is the best kicker in the league ever to play, besides maybe your boy from the Indianapolis. But I think I'd keep him. I think I'd keep him. No one's been in more situations than that guy in the league. And what are you going to do? Bring in some rookie that you don't even know if they can make field goals or not?
I mean, I don't know. This fucker's missed 8 field goals on the season. He's missing extra points. Fucking, I don't know, guy. I don't know if there's anything fundamental about being old and shitty. I think he's old. Like I said, these old kickers. Jake Elliott's sucked this year for the fucking Eagles. Harrison Butker can't even stay healthy. I don't know. McPherson is kind of shaky for the fucking Bengals at times.
Yeah,
Dustin Hopkins is a fucking nightmare.
You know who's not? Brandon McManus. These nails.
Brandon McManus is, yeah, I'll give him that. McManus has been good. Much better than
side,
the other fucker you were picking for a while.
I'd love to ask your boy this question because part of me thinks the Ravens coming in under the radar into the playoffs and not having the 1 seed or winning the division might help them out in a weird way.
It could help him out. I honestly, I was thinking about this. I was looking at MVP today. Lamar Jackson is like plus 900 right now in the MVP race. His numbers are better than Josh Allen's right now. Numbers on page. And I know, I think if say they recalibrate and they ball out these next 4 weeks, he should be the MVP. Based off of what his numbers are now, and this is basically like the Ravens' low point, I think they're not going to get any lower than this. I think they'll fucking figure shit out. I think they'll probably win out too, or get close.
So they need to change this award. They need to make another award if they're just going to give it to the quarterback of the best team with the best record. Because I think that's bull. I know you got to hold some weight into that, but in my opinion, like Joe Burrow deserves a top 5 chance. Like I don't know what his odds are right now, but there's 0 chance he wins it because of his team's record, which I kind of bullshit. I'm holding a Ravens future. What do you think about that? Plus 750 to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I would hold that for sure.
I
A couple
think
losses don't scare me when you got Derrick Henry and the MVP on their fucking team.
I really think like the Lamar can't win a playoff pressure is kind of over. He's 1-2 now. If they're not coming in as the 1 seed and the hottest team in the NFL that could play to their advantage, I really can see them making a run. Regardless of this.
I can see them making a run too. And to you talking about the MVP race, that's just the fucking that's just how today's society is, man. Fucking everything's like that now. Motherfucking Heisman Award winner, let's give it to a 4-loss motherfucker. No, it doesn't matter if you have the running back putting up historic numbers.
You're a Genty over Hunter.
Boise State would be at 9-8, would be a fucking like 7-8 win team without him, maybe worse. And this motherfucker is putting up numbers each week, and you're gonna give it to some 4-loss fuck. It's a popularity contest. Grammy Awards used to be who has the best album? Who put out the best music this year? No, fuck it. Now you put Glorilla out there, fucking shake her ass around. Good for you. That's what it's all about these days. MVP, everyone's getting dumber and dumber. Just fucking, they didn't give Nikola Jokic 3 MVPs in a row because they got voter fatigue. Like, we're getting tired of him. We'll give it to Joel Embiid. Fucking stupid. All these awards are pretty much meaningless these days.
It's dumb. But then we got to remember that like 40 years where we're debating who the best ever in the NFL or NBA is. We should not hold MVP trophies. They should not hold any weight in our discussion.
Well, some of them have fucking mattered. I mean, but
some of them, like Peyton Manning,
the Joel Embiid MVP was a fraud MVP.
I just feel like every year there's 2 people you could give it to, and every time it's the one with the most wins. Or the one.
Travis Hunter will be the biggest fraud of a Heisman Trophy winner I've seen in my entire lifetime. That's not exaggeration. There's never been never have been a more undeserving Heisman Trophy winner than we'll get this year. They won fucking 9 games. They're going to play in the fucking Pop-Tarts Bowl, and they play the bottom half of their conference.
Yeah, Pop-Tarts Bowl. They sure are. I love but I do want to talk to you about your favorite division in the NFL and how we thought maybe they were going to be good, and they're just not. The whole division's trash once again. I don't know why I let me think that they were going to be good.
We had to have something to talk about for those middle weeks of the season. Now it's evident the NFC South is shit.
With that said, I'm still holding on to my 2 futures of the Bucs winning that division, and it's kind of looking like they can now.
They could possibly, yeah. They held on yesterday. The Panthers snuck that one out. Just when you think fucking Bryce Young's playing with some balls, he finds a way to blow it. And it's either 6-6. The Falcons are 6-6, but if the season ended today, it would be the Falcons just because of tiebreakers. They're right there, though. They're right there.
The Bucs have the Raiders at home next week, and the Falcons travel to Minnesota. So this could be next week's big for those 2 bets.
That could be. Let's see. Do you got anybody else that has a shot in the NFC South?
No. The Saints no. Taysom Hill, though. I'm sure you and your boy touched on him last week, but he was going nuts. He went nuts for me in fantasy, 41 points or something.
Did he really?
He got hurt, though. He's done.
Yeah, he got fucking his clock clean. Taysom Hill, when Taysom Hill first started taking over, I forget one year. The 1 year they had a bunch of injuries, and they were playing his ass quarterback, and you could start him at your tight end, and all his passing yards and fucking passing touchdowns and shit would count. It was kind of a glitch.
Sheets, let me ask you this. I got asked this question today. Who Do you think the best NFL receiver is right now?
Probably Justin Jefferson.
Really? I would say Jamar Chase.
You could probably say Jamar Chase too. Maybe maybe CD Lamb. Maybe not this year, but last year you could have made a case.
No. If you were drafting a team today and you, for some odd reason, got the first pick, every receiver on the board, including their age, who are you taking?
I think I'd take Justin Jefferson by a hair.
Interesting. I think I would take Jamar Chase. Well, Justin Jefferson, I'm sure there's no one that sees double teams more than that man. And you know who I really like but doesn't get enough love because they don't they got too many weapons and they can share the ball over the field is Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think he's a great number one receiver, and they just have too many weapons. They can go a million different ways in Detroit.
That's true. What about Michael Pittman Jr.?
No. What's up with him, Sheets? I got burned because last year I bet his over in receptions and yards, and he hit all the time. I bet him this year, and he's trash. What's going on with him?
You got a young quarterback with more targets, kind of who runs the ball a little bit more, so going to get a little bit less targets when you got fucking old man Ryan and Phillip Rivers throwing you the ball. So there's that. And like I said, you got fucking Alec Pierce kind of stepping up. You got even though he hasn't done a shit ton, you got that fucker from Texas.
Mitchell, Adonai Mitchell.
A.D. Mitchell.
Who's the best tight end in the league right now?
Best tight end.
There's only one answer to this. There's only one correct answer.
Cade Otton?
No. No, not even close.
Kyle Pitts.
Not even close. His name, he's from Georgia. He's a rookie.
Oh, Brock Bowers? I could say Brock Bowers.
Brock Bowers is fourth in receiving yards this year.
Damn.
That's including all receivers, not just tight ends. And not to mention he broke the record for most receptions already in a year for a tight end.
Yeah, I could say that. I mean, it's hard to beat the obvious goat, which is George Kittle. But
yeah, he's my number two.
I mean,
Brock Bowers is the next Gronkowski. He's going to be, and Travis Kelce. Brock Bowers is going to be great for 12 years.
Yeah, I thought Brock Bowers had a chance to win the Heisman 2 years ago. He was balling out early in the year. I'm like, this motherfucker could win it as a tight end. Would that be some shit? He never did. But.
Well, should we get dipshit on?
Yeah, let's bring it to our guest. Jake Beck joins the program.
Yo,
Bill's money
what's
line.
good in the neighborhood?
What's that Bill's money line on there for?
What?
Meisner, I bet Beck. He took a bet with me last night. 20. I bet him $20. If the Bills lost, he'd give me 50. If the Bills won, I'd give him 10. Of course, the Bills ended up winning in a shit show of a snowstorm. So I had to Venmo this guy $10 last night. Killed me.
I don't know why you took that bet, Sheets. Taking candy from a baby.
Hey, I also hit a plus 2,300 parlay last night for $1.50. Won me $44.
Really?
Yeah, you can thank Ray Davis and Josh Allen for that. Get on your knees, boy.
What'd you have?
Ray Davis anytime, Josh Allen anytime, which happened when Amari Cooper threw the ball back to him. And then the alternate spread, Bills minus 16.5.
He had a rushing.
He had both.
That's true. That's true.
But your Bills look good.
Nuts.
The Bills beat the shit out of the 49ers last night. What do you take away from that?
It's kind of a shit show of a game, to be honest. Not a whole lot of traction out there, as you could tell.
The Bills seem to have
On the
traction.
run, what I will say is Mac Hollins is a fucking beast, especially in the run blocking.
How about your boy?
Yeah.
You were so excited to see Milano back on the field. How'd he
Yeah.
play?
I looked at his stat line this morning. I think he had like 3 tackles or something. You could tell that he wasn't making an impact out there, but give it some time. I mean, he didn't cost us anything,
No, first game back.
but
It's
he
tough.
didn't really do anything. Yeah. Especially in
Meisner.
that cold ass weather and that snow.
Are Bills? Can the Bills win the Super Bowl in your mind, Meisner?
For sure. They fucking pantsed the 49ers last night. They fucking pissed all over them. They shit all over them. San Francisco looked lost in the snow, fucking turning it over. Couldn't capitalize when the Bills did make mistakes. They couldn't capitalize. I think the Bills showed their dominance. They've won 5 AFC East titles in a row now. The Niners need to regroup if they're going to fucking salvage a season. I think they're done.
Your take sheets? Your
I
take sheets?
I think, man, I think they can get to the Super Bowl. I don't think they can win it. I think I'd said it earlier this year. There's going to be a time where Josh Allen starts throwing his picks like he always does, or like he used to last year. Led the league in interceptions. He's not throwing many this year, but in the playoffs, it's going to happen.
Here, can I tell you why he doesn't throw interceptions anymore?
He's not
Besides
forcing
that,
it to
he's smarter
Stephon
with the ball.
Diggs.
It's that, but it's also the play calling. And the play calling is the first thing to a play's outcome, and calling the right play. And I feel like Joe Brady has done a very, very good job about calling plays since he took over last year. And honestly, like a big part of it, I don't think even is Josh Allen. Like, obviously, yes, we're talking about him, but I think it really goes back to the play calling. We have a run game, and that's like everyone knows about it now. We've got 3 backs, and it's a very, very balanced offense. Now, I think Diggs is a huge part too, because he can just spread it around to whomever. And I think that's also a huge piece to it too. But we'll see.
They're looking hot.
I do know that they've got a way better shot than the fucking Ravens over there. That team that you got a fucking hard on for.
Why is that?
And here's why. Here's why, Sheets. I want you to go look at their defensive stats, their defensive points per game, yards allowed. Rushing defense, they're good. They're like top 3 or top 4. But their passing defense has been their letdown all year. And I think when it comes down to it, you got to have a passing quarterback. And that Lamar can't pass the fucking salt. He can't pass it over 20 yards.
Sheets, Lamar Jackson, Meisner, am I wrong? Is he not up there in like the top 5 passing yards right now?
He
Lamar
is. He for sure is. I'm not saying that he's not. But I'm saying 20, 30 yards throwing downfield, that man's not good. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I am going to correct you. I think Meisner's going to correct you too. He's going off this year, passing the ball.
Lamar's had good numbers. He's got technically better stats than Josh Allen does, technically. But he hasn't
He
won.
does.
But he's wet his pants in some of the big games. Though. I'll give him that.
He doesn't have the same things that Patty Mahomes and Josh Allen can do in big moments and throw the ball. He doesn't have the arm to, dude. He can run all over defenses, but in the playoffs every single year, it's the same thing. He wins about 1 or 2 games, and he can't go deep.
Let's see what their both teams' odds are to win the Super Bowl.
I think he shed that right away. I think he shed that he can't throw it. He can't win. They won a couple games last year, and I think their loss to the Chiefs last year was on John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh his game plan was to throw the ball 50 fucking times when they had one of the best rushing attacks in the fucking league. I blame
That's
Harbaugh
when they
last
lose. Is
year.
when they exactly what happens when they lose? They throw it too much,
Yeah,
I
well,
forgot about that.
right?
The Ravens are
Right,
plus
when they-
1,000 right now. Bills are plus 500.
Well, there you go. Sheets case closed. Next question. Next segment here. That case is closed.
I wanted to say something real quick. Fucking that pissed me off last night. NBC, when the snow got all fucking heavy down there right away in the first half, they're like, "All right, don't worry, we're gonna put our fucking fake numbers and hash marks here for you guys, so you can see where the ball's at." And it fucking looked like shit. The snow is coming down in buckets. You got a beautiful fucking snow game, and they ruin it with their fucking overproduced bullshit, unnecessary fucking lines. This isn't a fucking test run for your CGI department, man. You had fucking dudes like running into the lines that looked like they're stepping into the Matrix and fucking like would absorb it in their fucking face. It's like, what the fuck is this? And then finally they turned it off and they just let it be as it was, and it looked way fucking better. They had fake hash marks in the middle, and 30-yard line was like written in CGI. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I want to see how the field actually looks, cocksucker.
You got to talk to NBC about that.
I was tweeting at them. I was fucking tweeting up a storm, and everyone else was too. They were getting ripped. Every time Sunday Night Football NBC tweeted something, they were getting ripped apart. They're like, take this shit off. No one wants to see it. And then it was like off too for a little bit. It was like the 40-yard line was like off, I meant like half step. It looked so bad. You fucking ruined the raw beauty of football for some fucking overproduced shit.
I couldn't
Shit.
even tell until I saw a tweet from Charlie Waffles, and I looked up and I was like, oh shit, what the hell? I didn't even notice.
Mike
Until,
Tirico announced it.
I need to go look back at that.
Mike Tirico was like, "Oh, and for your viewing pleasure, we have super enhanced yard lines." And I was like, "What the fuck is this? It looks so stupid."
Here's a
I do
question
know
for you,
that the
Mize.
players were slipping around.
Are you a fan of the Carrie Underwood Sunday Night Football or the Chris Stapleton Monday Night Football better?
The best of all time was when they had Hank Williams Jr. All my rowdy friends on here Monday night. That will never be beat. You can have Chris Stapleton try to sing fucking whatever the fuck it is, the fucking Phil Collins song. Or you can have fucking Carrie Underwood dance her ass, 50-year-old ass around. It's not bad, but it's not better than the OG Monday Night Football. That was the best.
Carrie Underwood's ass isn't bad. Is that what you're talking about?
Not bad for 50.
Her legs are crazy.
Well, we got 6 minutes left. Should we get into the tonight's
Betting?
game?
Yeah, let's do it. Monday Night Football tonight, like I talked about. Denver trying to get a fucking win over the Browns going into the bye week. Big win, a big game in terms of Colts Nation. We need the fucking Broncos to lose tonight. We need to jump them, get into the playoffs. Bo Nix, I've been a fan of him all year. I hope he shits his pants. I hope he fucking loses to Jameis Winston and the Browns, who have started to get on kind of a fucking run. I think you, at least for my money, and keep this with a grain of salt. Everything I take, you should probably fade when it comes to NFL. Not been a good year. But I think you can get the Browns at plus 6.5. That's a lot of points. I would take Cleveland on that. I think Jameis Winston can keep this thing dicey. 6.5 is a lot of points. I think I'm taking the Browns as my first pick on the spread.
That's your first official pick?
Yeah.
Have you been making picks while I was gone? Because I didn't get any of them down.
Tyson and I we just did one episode when you were gone. And I have to double check on what our bets were. I forget.
Well, I'll write you down for Browns plus 6.5. That's your first official pick. Beck, what's yours?
I got David Njoku anytime touchdown.
I hate that. What are the odds on that? It's got to be
What do
pretty
you
good
mean?
odds.
What do you
Did I-
mean you hate that?
I said I don't hate that.
Or I got David Njoku, 4+ receptions, parlayed with Cortland Sutton over 25.5 being his longest reception.
I'm just going to write you down for Njoku 4+.
I like that a lot.
Do you?
That over reception will hit. You can bookmark that.
That 24.5?
Yeah. He'll get a 30-yard bomb.
Oh, fuck yeah. That's what I was kind of.
I can see Cortland Sutton catching like a 60-yard pass tonight. No shit.
Should we put a couple units on it, Mice?
Possibly.
Well, that plays into my pick. I had Cortland Sutton's over 68.5 receiving yards. And
I love that.
I think Nick Chubb just has been sat on his couch all day yesterday, watched Saquon go nuts, watched Derrick Henry run the ball. I've got his over longest rush, 12.5. I think he's going to break one as well.
I like that.
I saw something on FanDuel that kind of raised something concern on my end, or not concern, but some questioning, my curiosity. They have total like receptions the most out of like both teams, and Njoku was like I think number one, and he didn't have that good of odds compared to what he's already set up as, like his total over under in receptions or yards, one of the two.
So
Sorry if that didn't people.
No, that makes sense. Vegas, I think, is planning on this being a low-scoring game and not a lot of offense. And
I know I teased it down. Or teased it up. Sorry.
All the receiving overs, all the rushing overs are super low. What do you like? Nick Chubb's rushing overs 51.5. What do you think about that?
Can you see the profit boost?
Yeah.
I got Troy Franklin, player to catch a pass on the first drive. I'm gonna need Troy Franklin to catch a pass. Anyone ever heard of him?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, my
plus 520.
He'll catch
Troy
one.
Franklin. Where'd you get that profit boost? I have the profit boost, but how do I place a bet like that?
You have to. It's like one single catch, so it's like one of the quarters on the drive or something like that. That would be the smart play. Would be learning the momentum of the game and placing a live bet. I should have fucking done that. And I noticed if you cancel out on your bet, you don't get your profit boost anymore.
No, you don't. You learned that one the hard way. It says it right there in big letters.
I don't fucking look at that. What do you mean? It says 30% profit boost used. Becky got hot last night.
Hopefully we get a good game tonight. It's going to be Meisner's type of football. It's going to be a lot of defense. We may get some wild shit out of Bo Nix, but for the Colts' sake, I guess we're cheering for the Browns.
How about a Denver defensive touchdown? Let's spread
That's
that.
going to get my second pick.
Huh?
Riley Moss, pick 6.
He's out.
Is he out?
Yeah, I was looking at the injury report.
I'm going to go the receivers over too. Jerry Jeudy, over 60.5 receiving yards. This motherfucker in his last 4 games has gone over 73 yards each game. And they said it at 16.5 tonight. That's a slap in the face to Jeudy. I bet he gets 75 yards.
6-0?
60.5.
Interesting.
Like
He's gone over that last 4 games, you said?
He's gone over 73 yards in the last 4 games in a row. And they set this over under tonight at 60.5. Fucker will get 80 yards.
At least.
Yeah.
He's going to get 60.5 on the first play. And then they're going to give it to Troy Franklin.
Yeah. Now we're talking.
All right, boys.
All right. We got our picks in. We got our fucking football talk in. It is time to get ready for Monday Night Football. The Bills kicked the fucking piss out of the Niners last night. Treated them like a fucking personal toilet.
Bitch.
And,
Treating them like they're bitch.
That's going to be it for this week, motherfuckers. Whether it's fucking dirty hits, blown bets, or fucking NBC trying to fucking put fake lines on your television. This was the game we loved. This is why we talk about it. Keep grinding out there, bitches. We're fucking signing off. Up. Let's fucking get it. Couple more weeks left.